IBC CIRP Chapter 2. According to Section 4 of IBC Code provides that Part 2 of the code shall apply to matters relating to insolvency and liquidation of the corporate debtors where the minimum amount of default is 1 crore, and proviso for Section 4 is for pre-package that is less than 1 crore also is allowed. And next, two independent stages. In the Part 2, first CIRP, that is from Section 6 to 32A, and liquidation from 33 to 54. And in the box they gave corporate insolvency process. So CIRP means the financial creditors assess the viability of a debtor's business and the options for its revival and rehabilitation. If the CIRP fails or financial creditor decide that the business of a debtor cannot be carried on in a profitable manner and it should be wound up, the debtor's business undergoes a liquidation process. And CIRP meaning in second para, last 3 lines, corporate insolvency resolution process means the insolvency resolution process for corporate persons under the Chapter 2, Part 2 of the code. Next, persons who may initiate the CIRP. 3 persons. First, financial creditor, operational creditor, corporate debtor. Financial creditor, operational creditor, corporate debtor. Default means a non-payment of debt when whole or any part, means a non-payment of a debt when whole or any part of the installment of the amount of a debt has become due and payable and is not paid by the debtor or corporate debtor as the case may be. This is defined under Section 3 subclause 12. Next, Section 3 subclause 8 defines corporate debtor. Corporate debtor means a corporate person who owes a debt to any person. Like I owe you means I'm liable for you, like that. So corporate debtor is a person who owes to a debt to any person. Next, thus a financial creditor means any person to whom a financial debt is owed, and operational creditor means a person to whom operational debt is owed. And both this expression also include person to whom such debt have been legally assigned or transferred. Section 5 and subclause 7, a financial creditor means a person to whom a financial debt is owed and include a person to whom such debt is legally assigned or transferred to. And Section 5 clause 20, operational creditor means any person to whom an operational debt is owed and includes any person to whom such debt has been legally assigned or transferred. Next, 5 clause 8, financial debt means money borrowed against the payment of interest. Any amount raised by acceptance under any acceptance credit facility or dematerialized equivalent. Any amount raised pursuant to note purchase facility or issue of bond, note, debenture, loan, stock or any similar instrument. So first one was against interest, and next one is acceptance credit facility, and the C means instrument. Fourth, the amount of any liability in respect of any lease or hire purchase contract which is deemed as a finance or capital lease under the accounting standards or such other accounting standards. So financial lease and accounting standards is the fourth. Fifth, receivable sold or discounted other than any receivable sold or non-recourse. If it was non-recourse, it will not come. So recourse only will come. Recourse only will come under financial debt. Any amount raised under any other transaction, including any forward sale or purchase agreement having the commercial effect of borrowing, means borrowing effect should be. Any derivative transaction which entered into in connection with the protection against or benefit from fluctuation in any rate or price, and for calculating the value of any derivative transaction, only the market value of such transaction shall be taken into account. Next, any counter indemnity obligation in respect of a guarantee, indemnity bond, documentary, letter of credit or any other instrument issued by a bank or financial institution. And last, the amount of any liability in respect of any of the guarantee or indemnity for any of the items referred to subclause A to H. So A to H related any amount of liability in respect of guarantee or indemnity. And in financial debt, real estate also included in the following box. Real estate amount. If any Any amount raised from an allottee under a real estate project shall be deemed to be an amount having the commercial effect of a borrowing. Thus, an allottee under a real estate project is a buyer of an under construction residential or commercial property will now be considered as a financial creditor, as the amount raised from allottees for financing a real estate project has commercial effect of borrowing. This has declared in the case Pioneer Urban Land. Next, operational debt. The expression operational debt as defined in the section 5 clause 21 of code means claim in respect of the provision of goods or services, including employment, provision of goods, services, employment, or a debt in respect of the payment of due arising under any of the law time being in force and payable to CG, any SG, or any local authority, where any corporate debtor commits a minimum default of 1 crore rupees as provided under section 4 of the code. A financial creditor, an operational creditor, the corporate debtor may initiate the CIRP in the manner as provided under the regulations. Next, initiation of CIRP by financial creditor, section 7. By a financial creditor or two or more financial creditor jointly can initiate. Section 7 of IBC read as follow. Financial creditor either by himself or jointly with other financial creditor or any other person on behalf of a financial creditor as may be notified by CG may file an application for CIRP initiation. The financial creditor shall make an application under in such form and manner as accompanied with the fees as prescribed. The record of the default recorded with the information utility. So, record of default should be with the IU or such other record or evidence of the default. The name of the resolution professional proposed to act as an IRP, any other info as may be specified by board. So, adjudicating authority shall within 14 days of receipt of application will ascertain the existence of default from records of IU on the basis of other evidence furnished. The IU has not ascertained the existence of default and passed an order with such time, it shall record with reasons in writing for the same. Means it will, if it reject, provides the reason. Where the adjudicating authority, that is NCLT, satisfied that default has occurred and it will admit the application, and if default has not occurred or the application under is incomplete or any disciplinary proceeding is pending against the proposed resolution professional, it may order reject such application, provided AA will, before rejecting the application, give notice to applicant to rectify the defect in his application within 7 days. So, 7 days is directory and 7 days will be given to rectify from the receipt of notice. The CIRP shall commence from the date of admission of the application, that is insolvency commencement date. The AA shall communicate the order to the financial creditor and corporate debtor, the order within 7 days of the admission or rejection of such as the case may be. And in box first, originally only financial creditors were entitled to file an application and further amended that any other person on behalf of the financial creditor as notified by the CG can also initiate the CIRP by filing application under section 7. The financial creditor shall file form 111 with the NCLT to initiate the CIRP against the corporate debtor. Furnishing of info by financial creditor. Section 7 clause 3 of the code mandates that financial creditor shall along with the application for initiating CIRP furnish a proof of default and name of resolution professional. The requirement to provide proof of default aims at ensuring the financial creditor do not file frivolous applications or application which prematurely put the corporate debtor into insolvency proceedings for extraneous consideration. And in case of Surendra Trading Company, 14 days is not mandatory. Time frame for ascertaining the existing of default is 14 days for the adjudicating authority, and it is not a mandatory. And admission of the application also, if default exists, they will admit, and no disciplinary proceedings are pending, only then they will admit. And rejection, if there is no default and if there is any incomplete or any if application is incomplete or any disciplinary proceeding is pending, then they will reject the application, provided they will give the 7 days opportunity to rectify, and 7 days is also not mandatory. CIRP process commence. on the date of admission of the application by NCLT. So NCLT shall communicate within 7 days of admission or rejection of such application, as the case may be, to both the person who initiated, that is financial creditor, and the corporate debtor where the application is accepted, to the financial creditor where the application is rejected. So if rejected, only to FC; if accepted, both corporate debtor and financial creditor. Insolvency resolution by operational creditor. Section 8 of IBC lay down the procedure for initiation of CRP by operational creditor. The procedure for insolvency resolution by operational creditor laid down in Section 8 differ from the procedure applicable to financial creditor under Section 7. Why? The rationale for different procedure is, in case operational creditor is based on the premise that operational debt such as trade debt, salary or wage claims, government dues generally tend to be smaller amounts and are recurring in nature. The possibility of disputes debt in relation to operational creditor is also higher. So recurring disputes are chances is higher and smaller amount in comparison to financial creditors such as banks and financial institutions. Section 8 of the code read as follows: the operational creditor may, on the occurrence of the default of 1 crore, deliver a demand notice of unpaid operational debt or copy of an invoice demanding payment of the amount involved in the default to the corporate debtor in such form and such manner as may be prescribed. The corporate debtor shall within 10 days of the receipt of the demand notice or copy of the invoice mentioned bring the notice to the notice of operational creditors. First, the existence of a dispute, if any, record of the pendency of the suit or arbitration proceedings filed before the receipt of such notice or invoice in the relation. And B, the payment. First, dispute, existence of dispute, and second is payment. Payment of unpaid and operational debt. First, by sending an attested copy of the record of electronic transfer of an unpaid amount from the bank account, means I have paid, check the proof. By sending an attested copy of the record that operational creditor has encashed a check issued by the corporate debtor. So corporate debtor has issued the check and they have encashed it. Check, and first one is proof of the payment. And demand notice or copy of invoice demanding payment of the debt. Section 8 provides that in case of a default, the operational creditor has to deliver a demand notice. Okay, the demand notice means a notice served by an operational creditor to the corporate debtor. So demand notice is a notice served by operational creditor to the corporate debtor demanding a payment of the operational debt in respect of which the default has occurred. Existence of dispute or payment of debt. The corporate debtor has a period of 10 days from the receipt of the demand notice or invoice to inform the operational creditor of existence of dispute regarding the debt claim, the payment of debt, either by sending attested copy of the record, same thing, attested copy of record that the operational creditor has encashed. First, proof, next, check. Next, application for initiation of CIRP by operational creditor. Section 9 of the code read as, after the expiry of the period of 10 days from the date of delivery of the notice of or invoice demanding payment under Section 8, if operational creditor does not receive the payment from the corporate debtor or notice of the dispute, the operational creditor may file an application before AA for initiating CRP. So two things, payment also not given, dispute also, notice of dispute also not given. So they can initiate. The application under subsection 1 shall be filed in such form and manner as accompanied with the fee. The operational creditor shall, along with the applicable, furnish a copy of invoice demanding payment or demand notice. Copy of invoice demanding payment or notice of the demand notice delivered by the operational creditor to corporate debtor. An affidavit to the effect that there is no notice given by the corporate debtor relating to dispute of a unpaid operational debt. A copy of the certificate from financial institution maintaining accounts of the OC confirming that there is no payment of an unpaid operational debt by the corporate debtor, if available. A copy of any record with IU confirming that there is no payment of an unpaid operational debt by the corporate debtor, if available, and any other proof confirming that there is no payment of any unpaid operational debt by the corporate debtor or such other info as may be prescribed. So first, copy of invoice of demanding the notice or demand notice delivered, and affidavit that no notice is given by the corporate debtor, and copy of certificate from financial institution if available, and copy of any record with the IU if available, and any proof. So next, an operational creditor initiating a CIRP under this section may propose a resolution professional to propose a resolution professional to act as an IRP. The adjudicating authority shall within 14 days of the receipt of the application under an order admit the application and communicate such decision to operational creditor and corporate debtor. The application was made under is complete and there was no payment of unpaid operational debt, means operational creditor has not been paid to by the corporate debtor applicant. The invoice or notice for the payment to corporate debtor has been delivered by them. So he has delivered the invoice but also company not paid. No notice of dispute. There is no dispute also, and disciplinary proceedings also not there. So then NCLT will admit the application filed by the operational creditors, and the date it accepts becomes insolvency commencement date. And NCLT may reject application and communicate the decision to operational creditor and corporate debtor. In application filed by financial creditor, within 7 days of the admission or rejection, if accepted for financial creditor and corporate debtor, both will be informed. If rejected, only financial creditor will be informed. But in operational credit application, both, even rejected or admitted, both get informed. If in financial section 7, if application got accepted, both will be informed. If rejected, only financial creditor will be informed. But in operational creditor, in either of the cases, both of them will be informed. Reject the application and communicate such decision to operational creditor and the corporate debtor if the application made under section is incomplete. Application is incomplete and there has been payment of unpaid, already paid, and the creditor has not delivered the invoice or notice for the payment. He is not delivered the notice in section 888. Notice of dispute has been received, so there is a dispute, and any disciplinary proceedings if pending, that also is pending against the proposed resolution professional. So the professional resolution professional suggested by the OC, that RP has a disciplinary proceedings, provided that AA shall before rejecting the application give the opportunity to rectify within 7 days. The CIRP shall commence from the date of admission, that is insolvency, corporate insolvency resolution commencement date, insolvency commencement date ICD. And application by operational creditor before NCLT. Section 9 clause 1 of the code provides that if OC does not receive either the payment of a debt or notice of existence of the dispute in relation to the debt claim from the corporate debtor within a period of 10 days from the date of receipt of the invoice or demand notice under section 8, he can file an application with the NCLT and initiating this insolvency resolution process under 9. So the OC shall file form 555, FC in form 1, OC in F form 5. Furnishing of information by OC 9.3 lays down the such that application by the OC shall be accompanied with requisite documents. The condition of filing certificate from financial institution maintaining accounts of operational creditor is to prove non-payment of operational debt optional. So admission of application 14 days, rejection 14 days, NCLT for rectification 7 days, and commencement of CIRP. The CIRP process shall commence from date of admission. Okay, details of debt default limitation in respect. Limitation is 3 years. So while filing an application under 7 or 9, that is financial and operational, the financial creditor or operational creditor, as the case may be, shall also submit along with evidence chronology of the debt and default, including the date on when the debt becomes due, date of default and date of part payment if any, date of last acknowledgement of a debt and limitation applicable. Initiation of CIRP by corporate applicant. Corporate applicant, section 10 clause 1 of the code uses the expression corporate applicant and not a corporate debtor. According to section 5.5 of the code, a corporate applicant means corporate debtor or a member or partner of the corporate debtor who is authorized to make an application for the CIRP under constitutional document of the corporate debtor. An individual who is in charge of managing the operations and resources of the corporate debtor. A person who has control and supervision over the financial affairs of the corporate debtor. So first one is member or partner of corporate debtor who is authorized to make, and individual who is in charge, and person who is in control. So to include these three, corporate applicant word is used. If these three not required, only corporate debtor can be used. Section 10 of IBC provides initiation of CIRP by C corporate debtor. That is Section 10 read as follow. Where a corporate debtor has committed a default, a corporate applicant thereof may file an application for initiating the CIRP with the AA. The application shall be filed in such form, containing such particulars as in such manner and accompanied such fee. The corporate applicant shall along with application furnish the information relating to books of accounts and other such documents for such period. The information relating to the RP proposed to be appointed as a IRP. Means RP directly they have to give the RP name. To be appointed as an IRP. RP name to be appointed as an IRP. Means a person who is eligible to appoint as an RP, his name should be given in the application itself, who will be acting as IRP in the process. And special resolution passed by the shareholders of the corporate debtor. Or if not special resolution, 3/4 of the total number of partners or corporate of the corporate debtor as the case may be approving filing resolution application. The AA within 14 days accept, reject and admit the application if complete and no disciplinary proceeding is pending against the proposed professional. Reject if incomplete or any disciplinary proceeding is incomplete and disciplinary is pending against the proposed resolution. Provided that AA before rejecting give the 7 days to rectify, and CIRP shall commence from date of admission. Default by corporate debtor. In case of a default by corporate debtor, as corporate applicant thereof may file an application for initiating CIRP with the AA. The authorization of a corporate applicant to file application for initiating CIRP process is based on the premise that since they are people likely to have the best info about the financial affairs of the corporate debtor, and permitting such applicants to initiate CIRP would ensure timely intervention that is crucial for any CIRP to succeed. The corporate applicant can only initiate the CIRP upon the occurrence of default and not on merely likelihood of inability to pay it. So default is compulsory. Therefore, a corporate applicant cannot trigger the CIRP prematurely to abuse the provisions of the code. Further, as code envisages the displacement of management of the corporate debtor during the insolvency resolution process, which can be also a permanent depending on the outcome of the resolution process. Corporate applicant would be deterred means feared from initiating the IRP for extraneous consideration. Corporate applicant shall file in form 6. So FC is in form 1 and OC in form 5, corporate applicant in form 6. Furnishing of information by corporate applicant. The corporate applicant is required to furnish along with such application: first, the information relating to books of accounts repeated, the information relating to resolution passed to be appointed as IRP, and the special resolution. If not special resolution, then resolution of the 3/4 of the total number of partners of corporate debtor as the approving filing of application. Provides next amendment, second amendment. The presence or absence of pending disciplinary against the proposed resolution professional shall be a ground for acceptance or rejection of the application for CIRP. So what is the ground for application is presence or absence of disciplinary proceedings against proposed RP, and if complete or not application. Two grounds. The corporate applicant shall along with application furnish the information, books of account and such other docs, the RP proposed as IRP. Okay, admission 14 days and reject 14 days from the date of receipt of the application if it is complete and no disciplinary is pending. The NCLT shall reject the application if it is incomplete or disciplinary proceeding is pending against the. So NCLT shall before rejecting give the 7 days and commencement of CIRP. The CIRP shall commence from the date of admission of the application. Suspension of initiation of CIRP. Section 10A, that is COVID. Section 10A inserted wide insolvency IBC, which came into effect from 5th June 2020 in light of COVID-19 pandemic that has impacted business, financial markets and economy all over the world, including India, and created uncertainty and stress for business for reasons beyond their control. Section 10A read as follows: notwithstanding anything contained in Section 9, 7, 10, no application for initiation for CIRP of corporate data shall be filed for any default. For any default means there is a default but also can't file the application, arising on or after 25 March 2020. 25 March 2020, this is the date we have to remember. 25 March 2020 for a period of 6 months or further period not exceeding 1 year from such date. So 25 March to 25 March 2021. Provided that no application shall ever be filed for initiation of CIRP of a corporate debtor for the said default occurred during the said period. Means even after I want to file, after this date I want to file, then also not allowed for the default occurred in that period. Okay. For removal of doubt, it is here clarified that the provisions of section shall not apply to any default committed under said section before the 25 March. Means if the application default occurred 2020 25th March before, for that can apply, for that can initiate the CIRP. The section also states that no application shall be filed for initiation of CIRP of a corporate debtor for the said default occurring during the said period, which means that no FCOC CA can file insolvency application for default occurring between 25 March 2022 and the next 6 months or 1 year. The aforesaid section covers default of corporate debtor which arises after 25 March 2020 emerging due to COVID-19 and shall remain suspended for 6 months or up to 1 year. However, the default prior to this date are enforceable under the code. This was necessary measure considering the national lockdown in force since 25 March 2020 to combat COVID-19 and also the difficulty in finding adequate number of resolution applicant to rescue the corporate person who may default in discharge of their debt obligation. Next, section 11 of the code list out person who are not eligible to make an application to initiate. First, according to 11, the following person not entitled to make application to initiate CIRP under chapter 2 part 2. First, CIRP is undergoing and PPIRP is undergoing. Next, corporate debtor in respect of resolution plan has been approved 12 months preceding date of making the application. Means in last 12 months ago only corporate debtor in respect of whom a resolution plan has been approved under chapter 3A 12 months. So under chapter 3A a resolution plan is admitted of company A and company A again want to initiate, cannot initiate. Corporate debtor having completed the CIRP 12 months back. So chapter 3 has been completed 12 months back and CIRP also completed 12 months back and CIRP is undergoing, PPIRP is undergoing. 4 points. Corporate debtor or financial creditor who has violated corporate debtor, FC corporate debtor or FC violated any of the terms of our resolution plan which was approved 12 months before the date of making of an application under the chapter. So there was a company or so and so, they have made an application got accepted, resolution plan also accepted, and because of their default company went into liquidation. Again that person want to make application to another company, so he cannot. A corporate debtor in respect of whom liquidation order has been made, already liquidation passed, now what? Not entitled to make the application. Explanation appeared in 11 makes it clear that for the purpose of 11 a corporate debtor includes a corporate applicant. Section second explanation: nothing shall prevent a corporate debtor referred to clause from initiating CIRP process against the another. So I cannot initiate, but against another I can. So shall prevent a corporate debtor from initiating the CIRP. So there is a B company, I want to initiate against B company because they have defaulted 1 crore. I can initiate. Thus, according to section 11, a corporate debtor which is undergoing the CIRP or PPIRP at the time of such application or has completed a CIRP or in respect of resolution plan has been approved in preceding 12 months is not entitled to file an application for initiating the CIRP. So, summary format they gave in the box. Similarly, a corporate debtor of FC who has violated any of the terms of the resolution plan that was approved 12 months before making an application for initiating CRP is also not entitled to make application for initiating the CRP. Further, FC or OC offered corporate debtor undergoing PPRP are not entitled to make an application to initiate the CRP against such corporate. So they are undergoing already PPRP. Let them finish that. Only after then can. Clause C aims at ensuring that corporate debtor or FC do not abuse the CRP for extraneous consideration in addition to ensuring compliance with the terms. Lastly, a corporate debtor in respect of which liquidation order has been passed is not allowed to initiate to ensure that liquidation order will be fulfilled. Disposal of application under 54C and under section 7 or 9 or 10. 11A was inserted by way of IBC amendment where an application filed under interplay of CIRP and PPIRP, where an application under 54C, that is PPIRP application, is pending, PPIRP is pending, and AA shall pass an order to admit or reject such application before considering any application filed under 7 or 9 or 10 during pendency of such 54 under section 54 in respect of corporate debtor. If two are there, PPIRP and CIRP, PPIRP filed, still it is pending, the 14 days is not lapsed, CIRP has been filed. So first they will take up PPIRP. Where an application filed under 54C is within 14 days, within 14 days only have filed the CIRP, then also PPIRP will be taken. Where an application under section 54 is filed, first CIRP has been filed. After within 14 days PPIRP has been filed. So first PPIRP will be considered. Even in first also. First PPIRP filed and pending. So first consider PPIRP only. And section 7, 9, 10. This application has been filed. 14 days. After 14 days for this application PPIRP has been filed. So CIRP will be looked because 14 days has been lapsed. So in conclusion, first PPIRP only filed. So PPIRP only will be looked after. And first CIRP only filed. But within 14 days only PPIRP also filed. So PPIRP. And third one, first CIRP only filed. But after 14 days PPIRP has been filed. So CIRP. In first two PPIRP, in third one CIRP. The provision of this section shall not apply where an applicant under 7 or 9 or 10 filed and pending as on the date of commencement of IBC. The above section deals with the following three scenarios where an application to initiate the PPIRP is filed under 54C. Again repeated. So when an application under 54C is pending, that only will be entertained, and when an application under 54C is filed within 14 days of the application of 7, 9, 10 has been filed, so PPIRP only. And when the application under 54C is filed after the 14 days of filing of 7, 9, 10, so CIRP. Time limit for completion of IRP. The CIRP shall be completed within a period of 180 days from the date of admission of the application to initiate process. The RP shall file an application to AA to extend the period of CIRP beyond 180 days if instructed to do so by the resolution passed at the meeting of COC by vote 66% of the voting shares. On receipt of an application under subsection 2, that is for extension, the AA is satisfied that the subject matter of the case is such that the CIRP cannot be completed within 180 days. It may order extend for the duration of such process beyond 180 days by such further as it thinks fit, but not exceeding 90 days, provided that any extension of a CIRP process shall not be granted more than once, so only once 90 days, and mandatorily be completed within 330 days from the insolvency commencement date, including any extension of the period or CIRP. So extension means 90 days they can know that. Provided also where IRP of a corporate debtor is pending and has been not completed within period of second proviso, that is after giving extension, such resolution process shall be completed within a period of 90 days from the date of commencement of the insolvency. Bankruptcy Code Amendment 2009. This was amendment related. Time limit for completion of resolution process. Section 12(1) lays down the subject to 2, that is extension. The CRP shall be completed within 180 days from the date of admission. Subject to means if extension to 330 mandatorily. Extension of time provides that a resolution professional shall file an application with NCLT to extend period of CRP beyond 180 days if he instructed to do so by the resolution passed at a meeting of COC by vote of 66% of the voting shares. Has amended section 12, recalibrate voting threshold from 70, before it was 75, now actually 66. So this was old, not required. On receipt of the application, if NCLT satisfied that subject matter of case corporate data cannot be completed, this is also repeated for the 90 days, and time limit of 180 extended by 90. The application for extension can only be made by the professional and as supported by the resolution passed with 66 only once. All repeated. Voting share means the share of the voting rights of a single FC in COC, which is based on the proportion of financial debt owed to such financial creditor in relation to financial debt owed by the corporate debtor. The well-defined time limit is aimed at ensuring that commercially unviable corporate debtor are not kept in the resolution process for longer periods and are liquidated basis on the decision of FC at the earliest opportunity. The time limit would not only reduce the cost to creditors and other stakeholders of a long drawn out procedure, but also avoid any depletion in value of corporate data business or return to creditors and other stakeholders. This would enable promoters to fail business to exit the ventures swiftly. Withdrawal of application admitted under 7, 9, 10. So section 12A was added by amendment. Provides that AA may allow withdrawal of application admitted under 7, 9, 10. An application made by the applicant with the approval of 90% of voting share of the COC in such manner as may be specified before admission. The AA may permit withdrawal of application on the request of applicant under Rule 8 of Rules 2016. Form FA given under Regulation 30 is required to be filed for withdrawal. So Form FA, Regulation 30A of IBBI regulation provides that an application for withdrawal under 12A may be made to AA before constitution of committee by applicant through IRP. After constitution of committee by applicant through the IRP or RP, provided that where the application is made, the applicant shall state the reason justifying withdrawal. Provided that where application made after the issue of invitation of expression of interest, the applicant shall state the reason justifying withdrawal after such issue. Declaration of moratorium and public announcement. Section 13 of the code lists the actions that NCLT shall take after the application for initiating the CRP has been admitted. First, declare a moratorium for the purpose of Section 14. Cause a public announcement of the initiation of CRP and call for submission of the claims under 15. Appoint an interim IRP in manner as 16. After admitting the application under 7 or 9 or 10, the NCLT shall order these 3 things. Okay. 13.2. Public announcement efforts shall be made immediately after the appointment of IRP. Immediately means 3 days from his appointment. From 3 days of his appointment has to make the public announcement. And announcement shall be made in Form A and shall be published in English and one regional language newspaper wide circulation at the where registered office and principal office, if any, and situated, and any other location where in the opinion of the IRP the corporate data conducts material business operations. Okay. Moratorium. Section 14 describes that effect of moratorium declared under Section 13 of the code. Section 14 reads as follows.